Hi guys, and welcome back to another F1 Clash video by myself, AzaWF1, and you join me at the opening round of the Suzuka Grand Prix. So from coming all the way from Japan, and this is what we are using this weekend. So team score 1691, that's our car parts, and our drivers will be a mix of Verstappen and Perez, and also Lando Norris and Perez. The tracks, you have got the first four today, so we're making a structure change and we're using the first four, and then tomorrow will be the final four. So we're going with Japan, Italy, France and Austria today, and then we've got the United Kingdom, Belgium, Netherlands and back to Japan tomorrow. So let's see where that can get us. We'll hope for an amazing weekend. We've got Music Man, McGrady and Ibon Fernandez in our group as per. If you've joined us throughout the whole channel so far, you know that is our standard lineup. So without further ado, let's get into Suzuka of Japan with the new matchmaking and no more swiping. Here we go then with the Suzuka Grand Prix, and I'm hoping for a bit of rain. And looks like in qualifying there is no rain. There is a 48% chance in Suzuka. So we're going to have to qualify in the dry and hope that we get rain in the race, because that's going to help us a lot if it does. And we don't, which is very, very, very annoying. So then, let's have a look. So we're going to do the one stopper as we normally do. We're going to do a 3 and a 4 with Perez. And then I'm going to have to go for what will be a Taurus, I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, Taurus, because I want the tyres and the fuel to push on the mediums for Norris. So, rain hasn't helped us in this race. We needed rain. It hasn't came. But let's see if we can get off to a good start. Can Perez get down the inside? Can he stick to the inside? He can. And he gets us into P4, and Norris now into P11 still. It's going to be a tricky race without rain, this one, guys. We just haven't had the gods on our side for this. So we're going to boost into this chicane. Can we get, or hairpin, can we get another one? We can, so P10. And we've got third and second right in front of us. And we are doing the 3 and 4 with Perez and 4 and 3 with Norris. So we want to keep Norris as close as we can to the pack. That's what the key is here. As we bring him down the straight. And Norris has got Norris in front of him, but on hard tyres. So we are going to try. We'll keep medium through there. And we'll try and get him under the bridge. That's going to be the best opportunity. So we'll boost now. Obviously, we know our track guides. We know where to overtake. So the hairpin's got a good overtaking point as well. Norris defends well, though. And he's not really holding us up too badly, as Perez comes round now to start lap 3. And we are going to be pitting on this lap. We've got Perez in front of us. Can we get Perez? Not quite. We are now going to push Perez to the end. As can he get through? He can. So P3 for Perez now. So we're working our way up nicely. We're going to come back for the medium tyres. And do our 4 laps. We've got 2 softs in front of us pitting. And we've also got Norris now coming around in P10. So in comes Perez. Still going to have a lot of making up to do here. As he comes out in P5. Norris jumps up into P8. And we'll come back for the soft tyres on him. We're going to keep pushing Perez because we've got a pit stop ahead of us. 2 people pitting. And that will be Perez up front. And we are within Perez's distance. So we're going to keep at it for now. We need 25% a lap. And we're obviously below that at the moment, but that's okay. Because we want to get ahead of Perez in the pit. So as we get Hamilton, and now we get Perez. So we'll cut down a little bit. We'll save a bit of tyre. And then what we'll do is we'll try our best to come back at, I think it's Leclerc, towards the end. It's going to be very difficult, guys, to get Leclerc, though. But we are using the boost. Leclerc obviously wouldn't have a boost. But second might be the best we can get. Norris has come out in 7th. And hopefully he can start climbing the field. So we are keeping in touch with Leclerc at the front. The problem is we are not very good on tyres as Norris gets into P5 now. And P4 is a bit away. But can we push a little bit with Perez to bring him that little bit closer? It's going to take all or nothing, I think, with Perez. We've got Hamilton behind us who's going to be pitting, which actually might bring Norris into 3rd here because we've got a hard tyre of Perez. And what we got, 6 tenths. We're going to try and give it some, guys. We're going to try our best here. We're going to cut down there. We're probably going to run out of tyres, but I really want to try and get him. I think Leclerc is going to run out of tyres, potentially a little bit sooner than us. So I'm going to just try and hold position. Will he run out of tyres? I think he will, but I think we will as well. We just run out of tyres now. But P2 and P3 without rain, I'll take that all day. There's not a lot I can do. We will start in 8th and 9th or something along them lines. And we've managed to get P2 and P3 in the dry. So for tomorrow, I'm happy with that. If we would have had rain, probably would be winning that race 1-2. But we didn't. So 45 points with a bit unlucky weather. And we will take that. So 45 points on the board. First race in Suzuka. Race 2 and Monza. And we have got wet this time. We have got some rain, which should help us because Perez has got near enough 80 wet ability. And it does help us. So P3 for Perez. But we are starting in the dry, which is interesting. So we could have done with a wet race again, but we're not getting it for some odd reason. But never mind. We're going to go the 2 strategies. We're going to do a 2-stopper with Perez because he's at the front. And we're going to do a 1-stopper with Norris, who is 9th place. And hopefully we can get them up the field. As we start the race, Perez P1, Norris P7. We're using that little boost off the start. And we're going to cut down Norris there. And we're going to cut Perez there because we can't really overtake too much through here. Mercedes could get team orders, but they are in the right order. So we're going to conserve. Perez is nicely out front. That probably confirmed the 24 points for Perez. It's just getting Norris up into 2nd place. But it looks like the AI are all going to potentially pit lap 3. That's the key here, guys. Look at your AI, medium and softs. They may pit lap 3 or stretch to a lap 4. Usually the AI tend to like to pit on lap 2 on the softs. So we're just going to keep it. We are within 5 seconds. And now we're going to boost with Norris off that corner for basically 1.5 laps. And Perez, we're going to do the same. We're going to now boost Perez and come back to do a 2-stopper. Norris into P6 as we start lap 3. And obviously, remember, guys, we're using Norris over Verstappen because of the wet ability, and we've had no wet in the race. So, P6 still. We may have the medium pitters pit this time. We may not. We're still awaiting to see that as Perez comes into the pits. Can Norris get Hamilton? Not quite. Still got 1 lap to go on this stint. Will the medium tyres come into pit? They will. Or a couple of them at least will. And Norris, it's P4. We're going to just cut down Perez here because he can't get past at that section. We'll boost back out of it though. We should fly through. Not quite. We'll cut down again, just saving that little bit of fuel when we need it. As Norris comes down now in P4. So it's not over yet. We've got a bit of work to do to get Norris back up the field. We're going to cut down Perez. I'm happy with him. We're just going to ride another lap on him. What we got in front of us, we've got hard tyres. So we want to get past Norris straight away. So we're going to leave medium boost on. And we're going to attack him in the second half of this lap. So into this bit here, we're going to hopefully go up the inside of Norris. Gotta be going up. Oh, come on, Norris. We can't get him, but can we get him into the final corner? Sadly, we can't get him for some odd reason. Norris is on hard tyres, guys. And we are on mediums, and we can't get him. Which I don't get. So back at it then, P6. This is really hurting our progress. And it's going to be a very tricky race to get past now. Can we get past him this time? No. What about now? And finally we get past him. And we get into P4. 2 people ahead of us. They will not be pitting. Well, Sainz will be pitting. Perez will not be pitting. So we're going to get a P1 and P3 here. We're going to push a little bit just to cement getting ahead of Sainz, which we'll do easy. And we're coming round to the final corner. Ahead of Sainz. We'll cut down there. We're very, very close on tyres. We can see P2 in our sights. Well, it's not going to be close enough. We're going to run out of tyres for that P2. We've got a decent gap behind to P4. The component has failed on the rival. We need a component to fail on our Perez here. Or their Perez. But our Perez wins it. And we come round the final corner. And it's going to be a P1 and P3 in the dry. We got Norris up from 9th into 3rd. And we will take 46 points without the rain. We could do with a bit of rain. It does help us score more points. But not today. We take our luck. And we are sitting then with a 46-point race. French Grand Prix then. We have 0% chance of rain. Aaron had pretty much 0% chance of rain in them first 2 races anyway. So let's see where we start. Difficult, more difficult matchup here. So Perez P8 and Verstappen P11. So we're going to go for the 1 stop on him. And then Perez, we're probably going to stick on the lumberjack. I would use dead fast on Perez, but I've got about 4 left. And I want to use it in the final round rather than the opening round. So let's see, can we get off to a good start? P8 and P11 is what we need to beat. As Perez finds himself in P7. And it looks like Verstappen's trying to get up the inside. Can we go wide with Perez? Or in the inside even. And it's P6 for Perez, P10 for Verstappen. So usually my dead fast would help me go past rivals here without having to boost. And obviously we're not going to have that this time. As the rival nearly spins around. But P6 and P10, we're going to settle down. We're going to wait to boost another lap or so. We're going to just boost out of this corner because it gets a bit slow. And we'll try and get past Russell. We can't, but we'll conserve down. Verstappen's holding nicely. He's got the blocking attribute on as well. So that will help us keep the AI and opponents behind us. So coming down then. And what have we got ahead of us? We've got a medium tyre, some medium and softs then. So everyone at the front is on a similar strategy apart from down in like 11th place. So we're going to put on a medium boost. And we're now going to boost Verstappen because he's got a bit of tyre left. And I want to get him ahead of as best as I can. So we're going to come into boost at this lap. This is the 3-2-3 strategy we are following. And we are going to try and keep the servicing above the 60%, or above 50%, sorry. As Perez goes into P5. And the reason I want to get it above 50% is I can do 2 quick laps and I haven't got to take that extra couple of seconds in the pits. Verstappen's still P10, but what he has done is he's closed the gap to the rest of the field. And the people that are pitting now, I might be able to get ahead of, as Verstappen gets ahead of Perez and Sainz, so we're all pitting. And there you go, Verstappen's up to P4 now. Perez comes out in P9, and we do have a few pit stops ahead of us. So P4 and P9. We're going to keep Verstappen boosting for as long as we possibly can. Can we get Hamilton? Not quite. Hamilton is on a new medium tyre. Can we go up the inside? We're trying. We are really trying with Verstappen. I'm not quite going to get him. So P4 is where I came into the pits with Verstappen. And hopefully we can get out in about P8. That would be nice. And it's P7 for Verstappen. Now looking ahead, no real pit stops ahead of us apart from my own car. So this is going to be interesting to say the least. As Perez tries to get Leclerc, can get Leclerc. And we are now P4, but we are going to come back into the pits for some medium tyres and go to the end. I could go to softs, but I like to push with the fuel because I've got the fuel left. So I do like to push as hard as I can. As Verstappen now gets up into P7. Perez comes out P8. I'm going to try and avoid team orders here. And I'm going to push Verstappen for a little bit. And it's not going to work too bad because I'm going to close on them hard tyres quite quickly. As we come up to the back of Norris. Norris seems to be doing well this weekend as an AI. 3 races in, he always seems to be present. And we go round the outside. And here comes Perez. So Perez has got up to 7th. Verstappen's still okay for tyres. And Verstappen gets into P4. Can that lumberjack help us get past Norris? Not quite. Norris seems to be good at blocking this weekend. And that's what seems to be the issue with what I find. Perez still can't get past Norris. Look again, blocking again by Norris. So that's got an interesting one. Something to do with Norris. He is on the hard tyre as well. And we'll finally get past him. Verstappen's into P3. And we do get into P2 now with Verstappen. We're going to keep him going. We've got a hard tyre in front. We've got a chance of getting P1. And as soon as we take that P1, I'm going to cut it down. So ahead of us is the soft tyres, so it's going to be tricky for Perez to get up now. And here goes Verstappen. P1, baby. And let's push Perez. Perez, I don't think is going to catch anybody now. He's got a chance of getting P4. But it's just so hard with current details. Can we get P4? Not quite. It's a P1 and P5. We'll take it for now. We didn't use our dead fast on Perez. And in the race tomorrow, I might do a 1-stop on both drivers because, well, Verstappen did a 1-stop and he won the race. So I might go a 1-stop tomorrow with Perez as well. But there you go. 44 points this time from the first 3 races there. Race number 4 then, and the final race of the opening round that you will be watching, and it is Austria, which is an interesting track. It's not the easiest of tracks, and it is going to take a good strategy to get near the front. So P8 and P9, and we are going to do 4 laps, and we're going to use the acceleration and the speed, and we're also going to go for a downforce on Verstappen. And we're going to do a 5 and 4 with Verstappen. So let's go then. P8 and P9. Where can we get to? Can we finish this video with some decent points? So as we start the race, we'll do our little kick-off. Can we get anywhere? We go up the inside though, and it's P6 and P8 to begin with from the first corner. And we're up the inside there. It's a great move. And we'll keep it going for now, and we'll cut down, and it's P4 and P5. We are got Perez or Hamilton in front of us. Verstappen's on hard, so we need to get past Verstappen, obviously, as well as Hamilton. But we're not in a bad spot now. So we're going to boost Perez a little bit, and hopefully we can get past Hamilton up the inside. Not quite. We're just going to keep digging away at it and see what we can do. Can we get him here? Oh, so close. But Verstappen's going to hold that position by the look of it. As Hamilton goes up the inside, and we can get him, and we get him with the other driver as well. So brilliant gameplay there. We'll take that every day of the week, won't we, guys? So let's keep boosting. Let's get Verstappen. And we are now P2, and we will look to close down Perez, who is in the lead, and we're going to come back for medium tyres. Perez is long gone. That's insane. So we're now going to boost Verstappen. We're going to do 2 laps on Verstappen here and come back for some nice, juicy, soft tyres. But Perez, we've asked to close the gap, and we are used all the available tyres to us. And we are flying through. Verstappen continues. P2. Just behind Perez. Can we get past Perez, who is on the hard tyres, and just gain a second or two? Don't think we are, unless we can do it up this inside. We now get him. It's going to be a bit too late to pull a gap, but it helps us against the rest of the field. So Verstappen comes in. Perez continues. Perez can just about get 5 laps at this pace. Verstappen does a quick pit stop and comes out P4 as Perez takes P1. It's all happening at the Austrian Grand Prix. And we've got a good chance of scoring points here. Perez is flying, and we're going to cut him down a little bit because he's just short of 5 laps. Verstappen's going to pit, so that puts us into P3. And now it's all about chasing down Sergio Perez of Red Bull. And that was easier said than done. P1 and P2 in Austria. I didn't expect it to be that easy, but we just destroyed him there. And we're going to cut down then Perez with lapping the opponents and the rivals. And that strategy has worked to absolute perfection. We can see Verstappen's in as a WF1 sandwich. We're going to let Verstappen go because he's got more tyres. And that is a quite comfortable race in the end. A lot went on. But it was alright in the end, wasn't it, guys? 47 points incoming. And we've got to wait an hour for the rival to finish. So let's take you through some cinematic views of Max Verstappen. And he'll come across the line very shortly to take P1 in Austria, followed by his teammate Sergio Perez. Red Bull dominance at the Austrian ring. And that is a brilliant way to finish the first 4 races of Suzuka opening round. I hope you've enjoyed them races, guys. I hope you've learnt a lot. We definitely could have scored higher, thinking back to France and thinking about rain on the other 2 tracks. But it is what it is. We haven't. We've scored the best we could on the first 4 races. And that's what we can do. So let's have a look then as the rival comes across the line, and I'll give you a recap of where we stand. That race was a team score benefit for ourselves. 1546, 1691. I'd be unlucky if I got that match up. I'd be quite annoyed. So 4 races in, 182 points is what we've got. We've got a 45, a 46, a 44 and a 47. And looking ahead to tomorrow, as I said earlier, United Kingdom, Belgium, Netherlands and Japan will be coming to you. Can we get that elusive P1 or even just a top 3 finish to cement this week? Guys, thank you for watching. Do like, comment and subscribe. We're really pushing that channel through. And I will catch you tomorrow.